Yo, fast thing here before the intro and everything. Pay attention throughout this game, and I mentioned it one time. Pay attention to my cleanse and think when you guys would have cleansed and why, okay? I don't really touch upon this, and that's my bad. But I don't want to do this a fifth time. And just think for yourself here. Just look throughout the game, look at my cleanse, and just a food for thought for you guys watching this here. Just think, when would you have cleansed, why, etc. Right? Okay, anyway, let's go. Thank you guys so much, by the way, for supporting me and watching. I really do appreciate that, and you guys make it all worth it. Hi, I've already made this video, but I forgot to put the audio. So here I am, trying to do it again after trying to do the thing and then put the video over my pre-recorded audio, but it didn't work because I fucked it up too hard and I can't be asked. So I'm gonna just do it again. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good morning, evening, night, whichever one fits, shit like that. This is a Wackaflcka play-by-play, just something I'm trying here with 2 Penticles. I'm going to go throughout the entire game. Originally, in the other video, I said it's going to be roughly shorter than the original one, but then knowing what I know now, it's going to be a bit longer. But maybe it's going to be shorter since I've already fucking done it. Okay? Then I'm doing it again! I'm slightly tilted, so I hope you guys are having a better day than me. But yeah, this is mostly educational. I understand not everyone wants to watch all my content, okay? And that's perfectly fine. But then again, some people might want to watch this. It's a good idea to watch videos like this before you queue up. Get inspired, you know? Like, get something to, like, chew on while you're playing, or, like, before you queue up, you know? Same thing, I watch MidBeast sometimes. He'll review Bayfang. And I'm like, damn, dude, I'm gonna fucking go in game and play some League now and dunk people in Kiana. I don't do it, but I get really inspired, you know? So I hope that this has the same effect. And I do believe that I will have the same effect. But yeah, play by play. Gonna try and go through most of the things here. I'll talk about the game and the different episodes of the game. And what I did right, what I did wrong, what I could do better, what I could do not, you know? As I did with everyone this longer, I'm just gonna see how you guys feel about this. I'm sure some people will get something out of this, and that's all that matters to me. Which is why I'm doing this again, after already having done it. But okay, let's start. Sorry, I'm slightly frustrated. I'm playing Twitch. I have a Yumi. Okay. As with Twitch Yumi, Twitch Lulu, you are very strong level 1. Reason why Yumi Twitch is strong is because you have 3 summoners, okay? And you will most likely beat most laners. And I suggest you guys try this. Just limit test. Try with your duo, okay? Just try and fight level 1 on Twitch Yumi. You will most likely have Ignite, not Cleanse like me. I could have only took Ignite because I fucked up every single cleanse I did this game. To some degree. I could have done it better, and that's something I can learn from. But in my defense, I was slightly drunk. I was enjoying myself on the weekend, just playing some flex, you know. So playing everything perfect at that point isn't to be expected of me, I would say. In my defense, as I said. Okay, now we're gonna backseat me, as some people would like to do, but since I'm doing it, then yeah, fuck you. I'm gonna do it now. As I said, we tried the level 1, most likely going to succeed. I have Cleanse instead of Ignite. We would be stronger if I had Ignite. It would have been even more of a guaranteed kill, okay? You just go in, auto attack. It's very important that Yumi use the spell, be it heal or Q, and then after that, they have nothing more to do on you, so they just need to jump off, okay? And they need to auto attack. And if they auto attack, their autos will deal equal damage to the support. Most champions won't have any spells, so it's only going to be auto attacks. You know, Jinx only has auto attacks, Philos only has auto attacks. It only becomes problematic if it's a champion like Leona, Nautilus, or someone that will deal more damage, right? You can't all in like those kind of champions because they will peel you off the ADC. You won't get to do the damage that you want to deal with to the person you want to kill because they will get to run away, okay? And you're most likely going to get arranged then and killed, right? But in most cases, against like this Jinx here, Renata started Q here, normally she starts E, but either way, it would work, okay? And as I said, I have Cleanse here, I'm playing against Exhaust and the heal, or sorry, Ignite and Exhaust. My goal here is to cleanse the Exhaust. What I do is cleanse the Ignite for the reason that Jinx held her Exhaust until I cleansed, okay? And there's nothing I could really do about that. I chose to Exhaust or cleanse the Ignite because nothing was happening. I just wanted to get a kill done and not die, right? So that was my primary goal here. Most important part here, if Jinx, Yumi doesn't jump off, you will lose, okay? It's important that the Yumi jumps off and just auto-attack until the person is dead. Then you will win. If Yumi sits on you and does nothing, then you will lose, okay? Yumi has Exhaust and Heal. It's important with your duo, if you want to play this perfectly, that you tell your duo, if you have Cleanse, that you will cleanse the Ignite and then they heal, because you get more out of your heal then. Because if you ignited while you heal, as happened here, the heal will be cut in short. It'll be cut in half, right? So the heal will be less effective. So tell your duo, before you do this, with in mind, you have cleanse. Say, I will cleanse the ignite. After you see me cleanse the ignite, you heal, okay? So they will see the very obvious animation, which is cleanse here, and then they press heal, okay? I didn't tell my duo. We just flipped it. We just went with it. It worked out. It would have worked out anyway, but if you want to play the perfection, that's what you need to do, okay? And as I said, I wanted to cleanse the exhaust, but it wasn't happening, so I just did this, okay? That's pretty straightforward. And you guys need to do this. You will win almost every single level 1, as long as they're in the middle of the lane and not too far up. You need to try and come behind them, which is why I start the level Q, right? And not E. You get attack speed storage, so it also benefits you as well, right? You are going to win most lanes. Just try this. Trust me. Yumi jumps off, auto attacks. You will win, okay? Just commit. Just go ham, okay? Or you will get a very good engage. Say in this example, I'll open sometimes, they'll use exhaust and ignite. I just walk off, heal, and then we win because we have summoner advantage. We already have 3 summoners and they have 2. And that's why you will win almost every single time with Yumi, okay? That's just play her straightforward. Only thing, as I said, I would have done better here. Cleanse instantly the ignite, but then she would have exhausted, but she would have died tonight, right? And then heal before the ignite goes off, or after the ignite goes off, either or. But don't try and not use heal when ignite is on you, because you have cleanse. But if you don't have cleanse, then use heal to survive, okay? But as long as your heal would give you enough HP, say if I'm at 80% here, they haven't ignite me yet because they're going to ignite me later, then the Yumi can still use heal at the very early stages of the game, right? Because it's still going to benefit. And that's basically all to this play here. Just all in, pissed, get money, right? Do this every game, you'll get a lead. Just try this, practice, practice, practice. With your duo, without duo, whatever. Just, I would really suggest to get comfortable with this here. It's a really nice way to get a lead. Okay? Thank you. And as it progresses here, this game is just kind of random, you know. The next kind of big play that happens here is that the Graves will come to gank, right? This is just a random one. This one we evade, no reason to fight, right? We just get out, clean. I have to look for a reset here, right? And then I come back to lane. And then the next gank happens. And it becomes obvious when Jinx puts a trap behind me that I'm going to get ganked. Because I can tell this Jinx is a bear. I know she's not going to fight me. So if she's doing something like this, especially into minion wave like this, I know I'm going to get ganked. Okay? Yeah, I know I'm going to get ganked. Right? And because this is Graves, what does Graves do? He has to auto-attack. But he auto-attacks whatever's in front of him. So we can win this here because all we have to do is weave between minions and then auto-attack either Renata or Jinx. And by weaving, I'll avoid all the damage to Graves besides the Q. However, you can also sidestep that, right? So effectively, Graves can do no damage if you play perfectly. We didn't have the sync though, as I said, we're just chilling. And ironically, that's his name, Danny, or Joe. Get some laughs in here, you know. Untilt. Okay. Breathe, you know. Okay, nice. Second thing here, you need to know the matchup. What spells does Renata have? She has a W. What does her W do? It puts her on a target. If you kill the target while it's on, they will stay alive for a little bit. If you die or they kill someone while they have that on them and they're dead, technically not dead, but they're like undead, they'll revive again, right? So in the situation where it's as tight as this, you cannot do that because in the duration, you cannot kill the target that gets W'd because they will survive. Because the second one you die, they're back to life, right? So what I'll do here, I damage Jinx a bit, hoping that Renata will W her or W herself, and then depending I'll swap, right? Because all I'm aiming for here is a 1-for-2 or 1-for-1, right? Hoping one of us lives or we kill them all somehow. Okay. Renata W's Jinx. Okay, that's a clear signal to go on Renata. Ignore Jinx. No point damaging her. Even if I kill her now, she's gonna stay alive and then kill me and then get the reset, right? Pointless. I could maybe do a better job on avoiding the Gravestar, however, it worked out. And that's the things to keep in mind. This applies to Estro too, and you'll see this in other videos that I make against Estro or Graves or something. I know in particular Graves I've played against now recently in the jungle video, and we had my duo and me, we weaved between each other, tanking the aggro, you know, the damage from Graves. And by doing so, we managed to kill him. And the same thing with Estro. Yumi doesn't really do anything besides sitting on you, right? So in the stages like this here where they're not going to permanently sit out and fight, the one thing they can do, or one thing they can do is just take damage, and then when they're low, they just jump on you and they can't die, right? So these are things that are good to practice with your duo if you're playing together. And also, of course, if you're playing Yumi, know that you're not going to die. You can just jump in and die as long as they have any CC, right? And your dub is no cooldown. So you can fight until you're almost dead and then jump back on. The only thing that matters when you're on them is that you have used your heal. And you can, alternatively, other than that, there's no point for you to sit on them because it's not going to make a big enough difference at this point here. So your strength is being off and auto-attacking because you're going to do equal damage to any other character at this point almost. Right? Pretty straightforward. Then throughout the lane here, just some random fighting. Okay. But then, at some point here, when I look for my 6, right? Gallios here. Nothing really happens still. Just waiting for my 6. This is just random fighting, right? I get auto attack or I get ulted, we just run away. I still need to get my 6 here. I get it, okay? So now I can start to look for plays here. Yumi's not 6 yet, doesn't matter. But now I have my 6, we've stalled slightly. And now I can fight. I get the perfect stack here, because my ultimate will pierce them both, right? It will shoot through them both. This is my goal. This is how I utilize my damage to the maximum at this point here, right? I shoot through. And the bad play here is my flash, right? But I had to do it. However, I could have maybe looked for another angle. But at the same time, by not flashing here, I would still take damage from Graves. So this is the most optimal flash I could do. However, there might be a situation where I could walk differently and then ended up in a more favorable position. But as it is now, it's fine. The only disadvantage is that my ultimate's only going to hit one target, which is obviously unfortunate, right? Renata's still weird herself, as you can see. Jinx dies. And now what's next? Renata has the W on herself. All I have to do now is kill her, or like get the passive proccing, there. And at this point here, what I need to do is stall. If I fight while she's still in this form here, there's a chance I might die, and she gets revived. I don't want that to happen, but I also want to stay healthy. I don't want to lose my HP here. So what I do is I try and run away, play back. Because as I've mentioned in my other video, in the sense of like kiting back, auto-attacking and weaving, you are reducing the amount of damage you take. Because people will play next to each other, so as long as Graves and Ahri's not next to each other, they will not be able to hit me, because Graves is behind Ahri here. So I'm effectively avoiding the damage, right? And the only thing that matters here at this point here is that I just avoid taking the damage, okay? Which is why I pull back, so Graves can't reach me. I only damage Ahri. If she pulls back, I alternatively either walk up to her and fight her continuously, or continue to fight, or I pull back and then play like I did. Either one is fine. All that mattered here was that the Renata died, and if I would have not walked back, then she might have lived, right? Because I might have died then. Because I didn't pull away, or I wouldn't have pulled away from the Graves on the Ahri. But by pulling away from the Graves, I avoided his damage. Next one here. It's just random fighting, But then we get this angle here. Right? Jinx does some inting. As they do. But again, I pull away. Try and minimize the damage I take by not fighting them and just pulling them away. Effectively only making sure that one target can hit me, and alternatively I can also attack him back. And now the only thing that matters here now is that I hit them both with Yumi ultimates, so they both get rooted, and then I try and kill them both. Okay? The bad thing here, the mistake I do, is that it's durability update. I'm not completely aware of my damage. She survives with 30 HP here, which is unfortunate. And that's something that will happen to every single player now as the game continues forward. We need to relearn our damage. So people might sometimes live with 30 HP, 20 HP. It's happened to me probably about 10 or 20 times now. But that's something that will get fixed eventually. That's just something that happens when you play 3 seasons in a row of equal, like the same amount of damage, It's just a small learning curve, and that's fine. Right? Nothing more really happens here. Game goes on again. Jinx makes the mistake of walking up after Renata accused me away. She could have just ran, but as you see, she walks up and her brain sees something and she dies. And this is something that will happen a lot in low elo. People will just walk up randomly and take damage. And I can't count the amount of times I've got a kill like this. They get out, but then they want to return one auto attack on me because they want to like feel some kind of superiority or something, or their brain just DCs and I kill them, And it's funny. It's like XD, And that's something you can do too. Pay attention to, but also at the same time, if you're not playing Twitch, this is something you need to be careful of happening to you, right? You don't want to be the jinx here because you don't want to be an idiot, right? As for my build here, I'm going to talk about that later in my build video, but I think most guys get the gist for this. It's Tiamat, Hurricane, and then I got the pickaxe before I got the Hurricane because I wanted some additional damage in the lane, right? But again, it's just about playing with the ultimate, making sure you get the Tiamat procs and the AoE. And that's the key thing about this build here, which is why I'm showing the angles and the ultimate, and I'm going to explain the splashes and everything as the game goes through here. So hopefully you guys will get a slight idea of how to maximize the damage with this build, right? Okay. As my next part here, right, I have cool, and my next item is going to be Wit's End. I don't want to sell my Doran's Blade, because my idea here now is I want to finish my core and then buy Wit's End, because at the point I finish my core, get this 9 CS, I'm going to have roughly 1500 gold or something, depending, right? And I'll just need just above 2k gold to get the Wit's End, which is why I'm holding on to the blade, because I want the spike for later, and I just want to hold on to the blade knowing that I can keep it and get my Wit's End. And that's the reason why I'm doing that. The core kind of just made it awkward, and I want to finish that. And then I can sell that, and then I could alternatively buy the item or the component if I would need a spike, but I would like to keep my Doran's blade here. And again, you guys can see the pulling away, right? Into the cleaving and the auto attacks. But this one doesn't end as well as the other one. Danny unfortunately jumps off here. I think we could have weaved them back and forth and done the thing what I talked about, you know? You kite away from some people, and you attack the front target, and the other ones can't hit you. And in that way, you will be able to kill them. And then you pick them off one by one. Although they're almost right next to each other, you're still picking them off one by one. Because you're like kiting them away and focusing on one target, right? And that's because how pathing works League of Legends. You can just walk away from one person. As an example here, right? Renata has to walk this way. If I walk this way, that means she will get to me faster. And if Jinx is here, right? By also alternatively walking this way here, that means the Jinx has to walk this way here. But if I were to continue this path, the distance between Jinx would be shorter. So then Jinx would reach me. However, if I would take this angle here, while fighting Renata and Jinx wanted to catch up with me, she would have an even further distance to travel before she could shoot me, right? So that's something to just keep in mind here at all times, and that's what I've mentioned before. And this one is becoming even longer than the previous one I made. However, I appreciate you guys watching this still if you do. And also, don't forget I'm doing a giveaway currently. I think I said that before. All you have to do is just watch my stream, clip something, post it in Discord, and then you're eligible to win. Right? And again, the main thing here, and the mistakes that I do, right? What do I want to do? I want to cleanse Renata Ultimate, or I want to cleanse Jinx Ultimate, right? That's the key points here. Yo, I'm gonna correct Wackaflcka here. You need to cleanse the Renata Ultimate or the Ari Charm, not the Jinx Ultimate. I have no idea why I said that. Anyway, let's continue. Good one, bro. Wasting my time editing, Waka. Thank you, bro. Anyway, let's go. And I have my cleanse. And I have my flash, right? This fight definitely could have been played better. Right? And we can look at this now. This is probably one of the worst fights I did throughout the entire game, based on my positioning and decision making here. I definitely should have flashed earlier. Go into a better position, I kind of angle myself here, but at this point here, it's fine. I'm good to attack these two here, but the problem is that my health is so low now, right? Because now, if I were to attack them here, I would splash all of them with my Tiamat. My ultimate would hit all of them, and then splash with Tiamat again and again, right? So I would get 3 Tiamat procs, effectively almost one-shotting them all together. However, as I said, I will die, right? So I have to flash out and just buy some time. And that's what it's about a lot of the time. Just buy time, buy time, buy time. Auto attack, weave back and forth, trim people, you know, all these small little things combined would have led to an even greater result here. Unfortunately, I would have wanted to just finish my core here and then get my component and then get close to Wit's End, right? Which is what I did here. I'm really close to Wit's End. I just want to do the fight here now. It doesn't really matter, no objectives are up. This is just a random fight, knowing I'll win it, right? I just want to pick off Jinx. But then it works out well. Right? Kill them all. Doesn't really matter that she has the Renata W there. She will die fast. And then at this point, I can just stand AFK and kill her. Right? It's an easy fight. And the key point here is to think about the ultimate, right? Pay attention to how I walk here. I'm walking this way because my goal is to be able to shoot through Jinx with my ultimate. As you can see, it's here now. I want this arrow to go down here towards the enemies, right? So it's going this way, but it would effectively have the same range here, right? If my distance were to be the same here. However, from closer here, it would reach even further, right? So it'd go around here. And that's my goal. And that's the goal of this build. You want to hit as many people as you can with your one ultimate, and then splash with the Tiamat on every single target that you hit. If they're stacked completely, then of course they will get splashed, as you will see here. Right? And the counterplay to this, from Jinx's perspective, is she should have continued running. Because she allowed me effectively to get into this position where I get to kill them both. Because if she would have continued going this way, I would never be able to get my ultimate off, right? Because when I walk this way and she walks this way and I keep shooting, my ultimate would keep going this way, right? And I would never get the angle that I needed, which is down. Which is why I path the way that I do. And that's what you need to keep in mind when you play Twitch. If you play 98 tech and you think you do too little damage, go back in your game, watch. How did I walk here? Did I try to do this? Is there another way I could have positioned myself to hit more people with my ultimate? And then consciously have that in your mind. And that's what I want you guys to really take out of this game here. And it's what I'm going to drill continuously, all the time. This is a very important mechanic of Twitch, especially with Tiamat or Titanic, right? Not really that much I could have done different here. I would say this fight is fine. It was just a straightforward fight, you know, there was nothing much needed. Game goes on again. I get my Tiamat, and then I get my Wit's End. And as for the next fight here, we're going to look at the positioning again. And that's why I'm going to look at these last fights here now. Because there's nothing really much to it here. It's just about getting the angle, sitting stealth, getting a good angle like this, right? And then we'll look and see how I could have played it different if I could, right? There's certain things I could have done here. Renata didn't ult me, which is what I wanted to cleanse. But again, looking at how the fight went, I didn't really have to do anything. It worked out, right? But I could have played it well. I could have cleansed the exhaust, an example, right? I could have positioned myself differently. Because as we're going to see here now. Okay? As this goes, I'm really sorry that it's becoming really long now. But I'm going thoroughly through all of this here. I open up here, right? Take note now. I open up here. Okay? I'm shooting this way. And as I spoke before, what do we want to do? We want to shoot through all of them, right? So what I should have done, I should have walked this way and then positioned myself as opposed to here. I should have been here because I would have done more damage, right? So if I wanted to play this fight perfectly, if there was anything to comment on, it would be the position. I didn't need to cleanse the exhaust, although if I wanted to play perfectly, I probably would have, right? But I want to hold it for like more important spells here. It doesn't really matter. As you see, they still die, and that's fine. But the thing to look at this fight here is my positioning. I could have stood better. It worked out still though, right? But that's the thing to take from that one. But it's important to like know and realize like where they're standing, how they're standing, which angle you shoot. And always just consciously think about positioning yourself and then repositioning yourself while the fight is going on. You have split-second decisions here, which is why you have to just continuously do this and just burn it into your mind basically and just do it subconsciously because it's going to be 0-second, 1-second decisions there every single time this happens. And we're going to look at the next fight here again. Let's see how fast it goes, right? And then I'll take the second part next. Right? Let's look here. There's very little time here to think. When I open, shit's going down. Abilities fly my way. I have little time to think where I'm going to step now, right? But still, I try to position myself somewhere. I'll hit them all. It works out fine. This looks clean, right? But there's things I could have improved on still. But before that, we're going to look at the Baron fight. I cleaned the vision on the Baron, right? And they as a team need to get vision on the Baron. They need to make sure we're not doing it. They need to alternatively contest us. Which is why I clear the ward. And after I clear it, I know what they're going to do. I know what I'm capable of doing. So what I'll do, I kill this ward, I stealth. I attack it a bit because it's going to be linger vision for a little bit. Then I leave, right? I leave when I see them coming. Pop my potion, right? And then I open up. Wait for the angle. Alternatively get W here, right? On the ward or the bush here, I could have done. That's an example of improvement. Could have cleansed a bit faster. And the last thing here is the positioning, right? This is fine. This is the most optimal one. But when it happens now, we're going to see. I'm standing here now, right? What do I want to do in this position here? I want to shoot this way, right? I want to shoot here, shoot through them to cleave with the Titanic if I have that pending, right? What do I do? This is the perfect position for me. If I'm taking damage, the thing I should do is flash backwards or alternatively keep fighting and then see how it goes, you know? But I flash to the side here. And it happens very quickly what happens here now. I flash to the side here. And at this point here, I'm not going to have the right angle on Jinx anymore. Right? Because it's going to go this way here, straight through them both. The only thing that's going to splash is the minor damage of Titanic. Alternatively, Hurricane if she gets close enough to the proc. But if I would have wanted to maximize my damage, I would have wanted to stand here. But Jinx does correct this by pathing and flashing into this direction, which again, this is the most optimal play for me. So thank you, Jinx, for flashing into the perfect position, right? Because now she both takes my ultimate damage and she also takes the cleave damage from my Titanic on this person. She takes the ult damage, she takes the cleave damage, and she takes Hurricane damage, right? She's going to take 3 or 4 different damage sources here. And then also the cleave from the grave, so she's effectively taking 2 cleaves from Titanic, auto attack, ultimate through, Hurricane, all of these things together. That's what leads to these kind of like insane damages with 98 attack, and that's why I'm telling you guys you need to look where you're fighting and how you're fighting, and just constantly have it on your mind, okay? Always have it on your mind. Where are you standing? Last one here, just quickly now, because it's becoming really fucking long. 10 minutes longer than my last one. Anyway. This fight here, not optimal at all. I don't have cleanse, Yumi does. But I choose to open anyway, I just flip it, right? They do kind of like end up walking into the perfect position here. I'm going to show it again though. Ultimate through, right? Titanic will proc of the first person, boom. Hurricane, if she hits this one, boom, right? Both of these will hit targets here. My ultimate, if it hits this person, it will splash even more, right? So for every person I hit with my ultimate, there's going to be a Titanic proc. And for every Titanic proc, there's going to be another source of damage for the people behind. Right? It ends up being a bit messy here in the end. And the fight overall was kind of like, as you can hear if you watch the original one, it's like, whatever, I'm just going to go in. And that's kind of the thing here. I was fed. And if I wanted to play this optimally, I would have wanted to play a different direction possibly. Because they shouldn't have walked like this. My most optimal one would have been somewhere here. And like wait for the team, you know. This wasn't really the right play here. Because I'm not getting really like taking advantage of my K here. Right? And then they just spread out, and then effectively my damage just gets completely like gutted, you know. But it works out fine still. But yeah, that's basically it here. Just play by play, some little mistakes to look out for. What you can do to counter the plays if you want to do something yourself. But again, it's become really long. It's become 10 minutes longer than original. I don't know how I managed to do this, but yeah, this is a play by play to this video here. Hope you guys continue to have a good morning, even if you're on Twitch, shit like that. Thank you guys for watching. If you watched it all the way through, I appreciate you guys a lot. And I hope you guys take care and have a good one. Peace.